Hi, it's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. I make videos about books. Please hit the subscribe button. It really helps my channel grow. In this video, I will be doing an ARC vlog. I have done one before, and that was for The Whispers by Ashley Audrain, and it didn't go as expected. But there are a couple arcs that I would actually like to get to before they come out, and I am reading one currently, and I was like, why not make this into a video? So here we go. I am attempting to read at least 2 arcs for this vlog. Maybe 3 if I can get to them, but I read physically super slowly now because I just prefer audiobooks. Shut up now, I'll shut up. So let's get to it. The book that I am currently reading is The Plus One by Maisie Eddings. I have been basically obsessed with Maisie Eddings since I read the arc of A Brush with Love back in 2021 now, I believe. And I have been reading all the arcs, pretty much all of them, with my friend Nat from Nerdy Nat Reads, and we are currently reading this one together. So 25% in, I am liking it. So Indrina, I think it's Indrina, I will let you know, is a psychiatrist, and she just got cheated on by her boyfriend, and she is in therapy as well. And I just stopped to make this vlog because she said something that is something that I have said. She is a psychiatrist, and she told her counselor that she doesn't know why she's in her profession when she feels like she needs so much help herself. And that is one of the main reasons that I did not use my master's degree in counseling, is because I feel like I was so fucked up. How could I help other people? So when I read that, I was like, wow, I felt so validated, because when I graduated, especially from undergrad, but even in graduate school, I was dealing with severe depression because I was being misdiagnosed, and the medication that I was on was not helping me. So to read that, what I've been feeling for years, which is how can I help other people if I feel like I can't help myself, was so validating to me. So I'm really liking this book. However, I feel like it might be my least favorite so far. And that is because for some reason, nothing can measure up with A Brush with Love for me. So I'm 75% into The Plus One, right? The Plus One by Maisie Eddings, the arc I'm reading. And it is enemies to friends, okay, let me start over. Childhood enemies, but it's also Big Brother's best friend. But then it's also fake dating, and then it's also kind of enemies to lovers, and then real dating. I think it's 2 main tropes. And also, I don't think the fake dating was necessary in this case, and I am saying this as a fake dating enthusiast. I just don't think it made sense. And it did not last long, and it's probably because it didn't make sense. But my number 1 trope is fake dating, and I just felt like it didn't belong. However, I am liking it more than Lizzie Blake, and that's because Lizzie Blake was unexpected pregnancy, which just is my most hated trope. So this doesn't have that yet. But I am liking it. I'm not liking it more than A Brush with Love. A Brush with Love just was top tier. However, the smut in this book is really good, but I don't think it's gonna be a 5-star. Hey, I'm editing this video and I never gave an update about The Plus One. So I ended up buddy reading this with Nat from Nerdy Nat Reads. I think we both gave it around the same. I know on Goodreads it's a 4. I believe in my heart it's a 3.5. I liked this one, but I didn't love this one. I canceled my pre-order because I felt like I probably wouldn't read it again, but the only one I have from the series physically is A Brush with Love, and I do feel like I would reread that one all the time. So I don't have the physical copies of Lizzie Blake or The Plus One, and that's fine. Like, I'm glad that I read them. I'm glad that I read this, but like, I only need books on my shelves that are a 4 or 5 star, and the plus one got 3.5. So I canceled my pre-order. So 3.5 stars for the plus one. So I decided to read A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher for this ARC thing, mostly because the book comes out next week, and I'm hoping I can finish it and put my review in before it comes out. Even if I don't get this video out by the time the book comes out, I will hopefully have finished it, but whatever. So the main character, whose name I still don't know, I think, but I'm only 4% in it, is moved like back in for a little while with her mom. And T. Kingfisher's books, at least from what I know, always take place in North Carolina. And I am pretty sure that this takes place in the Triad where I live. So they just said something about Siler City, which is like 45 minutes away from where I live. So that's really cool. And I really like T. Kingfisher lives, I think, in Asheville, which is 2.5 hours away from me. But this one seems to be in the Triad of North Carolina, which is where I am. So that's really cool. Otherwise, I don't know anything about this, but I just thought that little tidbit was cool. So I have made it 24% into A House with Good Bones. I'm obsessed with it. I love T. Kingfisher's writing. I feel like she writes how she talks, and I'm obsessed with that. And it's just like easy breezy writing. But basically we were following Samantha, who is going back to her mom's house after her like archaeological dig got postponed because they found bones, and she can't like go back to the site. So she had already subleased her apartment, so she has to stay with her mom in North Carolina. I think it's Pennsboro, which doesn't exist, but I know it's the Triad. Anyway, any hoozle. Her mom is acting weird. Her mom has lost a tremendous amount of weight and is like saying weird things about her grandma, who died a couple years ago, and saying all these things that Samantha knows is not true. And her mom, once again, acting so weird. She's in Raleigh, staying somewhere, and she keeps like checking up on Samantha like she is a teenager, even though Samantha is 32. So like I'm just now getting to like the ominous weird things are happening part, but I'm obsessed with this already. So really liking it so far. I am 75% into A House with Good Bones, and I am actually really obsessed with it. I read her other book for the Pyramid Book Club. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put it here because I'm putting everything here because I don't have any of these books. But I wonder if I went back and reread it now, if I would like it more. And I'm thinking about doing that because now I'm so used to T. Kingfisher's writing style. Like, I feel like she just literally writes how she talks. And she has a distinct pattern in her books that I really, really like. At least her horror books. I know Nettle and Bone is different, and I will not be reading that because everyone has told me not to read that, and I trust them. But I'm really liking this, and the way she just like slips things in. Like, I just got to the end of a chapter, and it was like a really big thing that happened, and I just like really liked it. And I appreciate T. Kingfisher's writing, and I appreciate still that she like set this book where I live, and I just still think that's really cool. So I'm really liking this. I'm hoping it could be a 5-star. I finished what? My kids just wrestled me. I finished A House with Good Bones, and I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I feel like, just like with the Twisted Ones, it was a little crazy at the end, and my mind just can't like handle that. But otherwise, it was a good time. I think that T. Kingfisher has the weirdest brain, and that is a compliment from me. But 4 stars for that, and then 3.5 stars for the plus one. I am 30% into yours truly. I am once again buddy reading this with Nat from Nerdy Nat Reads. We buddy read a lot of arcs together. But this is the sequel to Part of Your World, and it's not following the 2 main characters. It's like a spin-off. So we're following Brianna, who is a doctor at the same hospital where the main character from Part of Your World worked, and she's going through a lot. She is going through a divorce. Her husband cheated on her with her best friend, and her brother needs a kidney transplant and is really not doing well. So she's just going through a lot. And then we're following Jacob, who just started working at the hospital, and he's also going through a lot. He broke up with his girlfriend, and she is now engaged to his brother. And he is dealing with a lot of anxiety. I actually really like Jacob. I feel like the things he says about anxiety, like I really feel the same things. Like he doesn't like to go out. He doesn't like large crowds. He doesn't like to tell people things because he doesn't want that kind of attention. And I really feel that. So I'm really liking this so far. The premise is that they are friends right now, and they're writing letters to each other because it's just easier to write letters than say what they need to say out loud, which I really like. But now Jacob has been telling his family that he's dating someone so they won't worry about like his brother and the wedding and stuff. So now it's going to be probably fake dating with Brianna, which fake dating is my favorite, and I'm hoping it's good because I did not think it was good in the +1 or like needed. So far I'm really liking this. Once again, I did not like The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez, and I almost completely wrote her off because of how much I hated that book. But I'm so glad I picked up Part of Your World, and I am liking this one too. So as long as there's not the trope that was in The Friend Zone, this could probably be really good for me. I am 58% into Yours Truly, and I have never connected to a character more than I am connecting to Jacob. He is my introvert heart. Brianna just had to take a picture of the driveway because he has parking anxiety, and I have parking anxiety. I am going to a new place tomorrow, and I have looked at that driveway 3 times. And it's just a regular house on a regular street, but my parking anxiety needs to know exactly where I'm parking. So, I'm in love with Jacob. I'm in love with Brianna. I'm in love with this book. It's still a slow burn, which I don't like Friends to Lovers, and I don't like slow burns, but I'm loving this book. I am 75% into Yours Truly, and these two people have not so much as kissed, but they are both in love with each other, and it is just like I am not a slow burn girly. They don't have to like do it. Like, I don't care if there's smut in my books, but like it is so frustrating that they're fake dating and they both love each other and they won't communicate. Like, I think that's my thing, is that two grown adults won't communicate. And Jacob has said that he wanted to be with Brianna, and Brianna is the one who is hesitating because she thinks that he's in love with his ex, and that is just obviously not the case. And I think that's what's frustrating for me, is the lack of communication and also the slow burn. Like, they're literally living together. They shared one bed. Like, they have had all these tropes and nothing has come to fruition, which I think for me as a non-slow burn girly has been the most frustrating part, because like life is too short to not be with people that you want to be with, and I think that's where I am right now. So I'm going to finish this today, and I know they're gonna end up together and everything's going to be fine, but I just know that there's going to be a third act breakup and then everything's going to be fine, and I think that's also frustrating for me. Okay. This is the face of a person who DNF'd Yours Truly at 89%. So they finally get together, and then something happens, and I put it down. And since I made it 89% in, which is 11% until the end of the book, I decided to rate this book. And obviously I marked it down as read. I read the book, and Nat told me what happened the rest of the book, and I'm giving it 2 stars. Hey, it's Editing Michelle again. I finished, I did not finish Yours Truly. I DNF'd it at 89%, but I did rate it and I gave it 1 star. I recorded this like right after I finished it and had given it 2 stars, but in my heart of hearts, it's a 1 star. Abby Jimenez has done this trope to me twice, and even though I loved Part of Your World, I will no longer be picking up any Abby Jimenez. I can't do it. I can't pick up another Abby Jimenez book and be so mad at a book. Like, no. So she is just on my do not read list. And although Part of Your World was my second favorite book that I read last year, I just feel like I can't read another Abby Jimenez because she has done this trope to me twice. And I just felt like that trope in The Friend Zone was absolutely offensive with what the main character was going through. And in this one, it just like made me so angry because it was happening again. Like, I read a book by Abby Jimenez and she had done it to me again, and I just absolutely hate this trope. Like, it is a personal thing, and I put my 1 star review on NetGalley, and I was the only 1 star review, and that is fine. It's not a popular opinion. People love this book, and I'm really glad that people love this book. But the only thing I loved about this book was Jacob. I felt like me and Jacob have the same anxiety, and I really, really appreciated seeing that on paper. But I did not really like Brianna. I hate a slow burn romance. And then on top of the slow burn romance, she puts in my most hated trope. So I just can't read Abby Jimenez again. So it is a 1 star. I DNF'd it at 89%, but I gave it 1 star. So. And I don't want to tell you what happened because this is an arc and it's such a new book. So I'm not gonna like even tell you the trope or anything. But this is the second time that Abby Jimenez has done this to me. And I feel like I gave her a second chance with Part of Your World. And then she did it again with Yours Truly. And like, how do I pick up another one of her books? Like, I don't know if I ever can, but I canceled my pre-order of this book. And I've said this before after I read The Friend Zone, but I don't know if I could pick up another Abby Jimenez book after this one. So, I did not like this book. But that's the end of this video. So for this arc video, I read The Plus One, and I read that with Nat from Nerdy Nat Reads. I think we both gave it the same. I gave it 3.5. I think she gave it 3.75. So on Goodreads, we both gave it 4. That one was way better than Yours Truly, and I thought that one was kind of mid. And then I read A House with Good Bones, which is my favorite out of these 3 arcs. It was just nuts in like a good way. Like, T. Kingfisher is weird in the best way possible, and I am absolutely obsessed with her. And then DNF Yours Truly 89% in. I looked at reviews, and when I put this down as reading the arc on Goodreads, so many people were so happy for me, but they must not know me because like someone should have warned me. But that is it for this video. I'm going to try to do more arc reviews like this and put them out closer to when the books come out. But thanks for watching my video. See you in my next one. Bye.
Losing time, I'm fading fast.